For other participants to log in. We are just
No,
starting the session after
no, no
5
problem.
minutes.
I'm there. No problem.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay.
So, greetings everyone. Welcome back once again. Now, I would like to welcome our next guest for the session 2 on day 6, Professor P.S. Pavla sir from NITTR Chandigarh, and he will be sharing his expertise on preparation for the NBA expert team. Thank you so much, sir, for sparing time for us once again. And now I request you to please take the session forward, sir.
Thank you, Professor Komal Bhaiya. Thanks for again welcoming me. Uh, Very good afternoon to all of you, all the participants who have been attending this program. So, this is probably the last session. After that, you have valediction only and feedback. And as it is, what I'm going to discuss with you today is that is also the last stage in the NBA widget, which you have when the team comes to you. We have seen there are 10 criteria, 1 to 10. Criteria 1 to 7, these are called program-based criteria, and 8, 9, 10, these are called institute-based criteria. There, 8, 9, 10 are more concerned with the institute than with the program, because these are common to all the programs. You have gone through it. Dr. Akshay Girdhar has discussed with you, and Professor Reddy from Hyderabad, he has discussed. In fact, all the experts are friends, and we have been working together. Suresh Reddy. And whatever preparation you have to do for the visit, Dr. Dharmender has discussed with you in the earlier session, in the first session today. So what I'm going to do today is how the visit takes place. What preparations you have to do when the team is with you. What you have to do. All the documents, what have been discussed, criteria 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that you have to keep ready. All the files. Course file is a part of the files only. That also you have to keep ready. When it will be seen, who will see it? As I said, criteria 1 to 7 are program based. The information is regarding the program. It may be common with some programs, but it is basically program based. It pertains to the program which is under consideration, which is for accreditation, the program which you have offered. As I said earlier in my earlier lecture, the team is constituted by NBA. Each team, I'm talking about now, UG programs, PG programs in engineering, and MBA, diploma program is different. There is one chairman for the team and 2 experts for each program. As I earlier said, 2 experts for each program. That means if you are offering, let's say, a computer science department is offering UG in computers and UG in IT also, then these are counted as 2 programs. So there will be 4 experts. They may be all from computer science expertise only. So once the team is constituted by AICTE, the dates are finalized with you. You have paid the fee, because without paying the fee, you cannot upload your SAR. So that if your SAR has been uploaded, team has been constituted, and the dates have been conveyed to you, this means that you have paid the fee also. And we doesn't allow it. The computer doesn't allow you to proceed to the next step unless you have met with the first step, earlier step. The SAR for each program for which you are going for accreditation, that is sent to the experts identified by the NBA. That means if you are going for MBA, as you are going for MBA program for accreditation, then SAR of that program will be sent to the expert who has been identified to accredit or to assess the program for on NBA. Similarly, let's say there is a UG in mechanical, there is a PG in mechanical or PG in computer science. There will be two experts each. So they will be sent the SAR of their respective programs. And the chairperson of the team, he will have all the SARs. Normally, this is e-copies only. They are sent by email. Now, what is the purpose of this is, because visit is short visit, 2 days visit or 3 days visit. It's actually practically it is 2 days only. Third day is very small activity. So all the experts are supposed to go through the SAR submitted by the college thoroughly. They are all experienced in their field, so they will note down what needs to be checked more carefully, what needs to be discussed in detail, where are the conflicts in the statements given by the institutes. So they will prepare a report which is called pre-visit report. The pre-visit report is prepared individually by all the experts. There are 2 experts, let's say for UG computer science, so they will prepare independent reports and they will submit it to the chairperson of the team, right? They will submit it to the chairperson. Chairperson will also read all the reports, all the SARs, and he will also make up his mind. Although he is supposed to evaluate criteria 8, 9, 10 only, but he is responsible for the total report also. There should be no contradictions. There should be no lapses by the evaluators. There may be some non-serious evaluators, so that they have to be, that has to be pointed out. In fact, if there are some non-serious evaluators, chairman will convey it to NBA also. There have been instances when evaluators have been changed just before the visit, and there may be other instances also where evaluators have been sent back from the visit. So one is that the evaluators will evaluate at their end based on the self-assessment report. They have to make the self-assessment report only for criteria 1 to 7. Chairman makes the self-assessment, this pre-visit report, pre-visit report for criteria 1 to 7, and chairman will make the pre-visit report for criteria 8, 9, 10. In case of diploma, criteria 8 is not there, so it is 9 and 10 only. A copy of the report is sent to NBA also, member secretary NBA also, by all the experts and the chairperson. So this is one activity which is done by the team. Once you have paid the fee, accreditation fee, all the arrangements of the travel of the experts and the chairman, total team I will say, right from picking from their house to arranging the accommodation in your city or in a city nearby. If there's no good hotels and all in your city, maybe you are located in some urban area, this rural area, then in nearby hotel, they will, in nearby city, they will arrange the accommodation. You will not know. You are not supposed to know. So right from picking the expert from their home, their air tickets, their at the airport nearer to your place, like just picking up from the airport and leaving in the hotel, it is NBA responsibility. This I am talking about the normal circumstances. Now, little bit change is there. I'll come to that. Then, even their transport from the hotel to your institute, that is also taken care by the NBA itself. They have consultants, so they will make the arrangements. You don't have to do anything. So one thing is very clear, that when the visit is taking place, you don't have to do anything, no arrangements. The only thing is your college should be ready for the inspection. You should have the data available, whatever files have been discussed, and whatever data you have provided in the SAR, that should be available with you, and that should be readily available. And whatever decisions you have taken, let's say you have made the COPO mapping matrix. If you are written 1 somewhere mapping or 2, you should know why not 3, why not 1. That you should be able to justify. You should know how to calculate the attainment of POs. You should know what is the action taken. Anyway, I'll come to it. So the team will reach your college. Normally, when I am the chairman, we reach at 9 o'clock. Sharp 9 o'clock, we are at the college. Many times, no, not such many times. Sometimes it has happened that the team reaches there and the college is not ready. Even the security person at the gate are not told that today there is a visit. Allow them, the team, to come inside. They will start asking, who are you? Why have you come? Where do you want to go? It has happened somewhere. So keep the system ready. Then maybe if you can put some signage also that okay, you have to go this way. That is very important. Otherwise, the first impression probably can spoil the visit, whole visit. So the team is received. Okay, when the team reaches, team will reach previous day. Let's say the visit will be invariably the visit is kept on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It is not that they will have the visit only Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It is just for the convenience of the experts, so that they don't have to be away from their institutions for more time. Saturday, Sunday is off, so they will start on Thursday, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday they will be back in their institution. Monday they can attend to their institutions. So they will reach the institute on Thursday, where they will have the meeting. Chairman will discuss with the experts. They will say PE is basically program expert, and TC is team chairman, team chair. So please write your comments or whatever questions you have. You can write in the chat box. There are some things in the chat box. Let me see. Okay, Dr. Dharmendra. So on Thursday evening in the hotel itself, they will discuss among themselves, because they may not have met each other earlier, right? And they will not be from your region. They will be from, let's say, minimum 500 kilometers away from your institute. They will not be, let's say, somebody from Delhi will not come as expert in Chandigarh. So they will discuss among themselves their general impression from the SAR. So SAR should be good. It should give a good impression. So they will discuss what are the observations. And you see, there will be 2 experts for each program. So they may have their separate individual observations based on the SAR. So they do discuss during this day 0, they call it. Day 0 meeting, they discuss all this. Chairman will tell them the process to be followed during the visit. Normally, chairman will tell that we will not try to unnecessarily fight with the institute faculty. So you have to be very human when you are talking with the institute faculty and staff. At the most, if the faculty and staff is not able to give some document, you can write document not provided, that is all. You don't have to fight with the faculty. You don't have to threaten the faculty. Or at the same time, I will say the institute faculty doesn't have to be afraid of the team. The only thing you have to do is you have to make the documents available. That is. So the team will reach the institute at 9 o'clock. That's on the first day, day one. The first activity is presentation by the principal. Presentation by the principal about the institute level activities, policies, what we are doing, overall things, right? Overall faculty position, overall PhDs, overall students, overall percentage of pass outs, overall placements. He can talk about this overall infrastructure, everything he can talk at the institute level, and he can restrict to institute level things like hostels, medical facilities, sports, management. Some good points, let's say incentives for the faculties, or let's say for paper presenting, you are giving something to the faculty. It will happen in the self-financing institutions, not in the government institutions. Then about the management, how the management works, what are the sources of finances, because finances, etc., they are the central thing to be discussed by the principal of the director. So the principal will give a, I have seen sometimes the principals start talking about the philosophy. What is that? Let's say you are following, let's say, project-based learning. Now, what you have to say, the principal has to say is that we are following project-based learning, from which we have got the such and such benefits. Our students have benefited to that extent. Now, the principal doesn't have to teach the team what project-based learning is. What is a flipped classroom? The principal doesn't have to teach to the team. You have to just say what he is doing. Recently, why I'm telling this? Recently, I went to some institution. The VC of that university, he started telling what is project-based learning, what is that's a Flipboard, what is a MOOC. So that you don't have to do. You have to do what you are doing and how it is benefiting, how you are enforcing this, right? So we have to, let's say, you can talk about the principal can talk about the industrial interaction, collaborations, national and international collaborations. All this he can talk. But he should talk what you are doing. It is not how international collaboration will help the institution. No, how it is helping, what you have done, or how it is likely to help my institute only. I am not talking about general, total technical education system. I am not talking here. The principal is not talking about the total education system. He is talking about his institute only. Right? Then, after the meeting is over, after this principal's presentation is over, in the principal's presentation, principal of course will be there, or director will be there. In this self-financing institution, normally 1 or 2 persons from the management also sit in the meeting. At some places, what has happened is the management people, they want to give the presentation. I have seen some chairperson, they have said no, principal or the director will give the presentation, you will not. So that probably sometimes creates unpleasant situation also. But it is the responsibility of the principal or the director of the institute to give the presentation, and he should know everything. If he doesn't know, that means the management is not allowing the academician to work. They are keeping everything to themselves. So after that, what happens? After that, the team breaks into two parts. One part is chairperson, and okay, I will come to the system where what is happening these days. That then side by side I will cover the normal system also. Since these days the physical visits are not happening. In fact, now as on today there is no visit happening because everything is closed in Delhi. Their NBA office maybe there is some few people may be going, but they have devised a new system for visiting. There are no physical visits. What they say is the chairperson and the experts, they will be inspecting the, or they will be evaluating the institute or the program online through video link. All the discussion will be through video link. In addition to the experts and the chairperson, some people will visit the institute who are from the nearby areas. Just see, I said people from nearby areas will not come to your institution for inspection. I still stand by that. But in this corona situation, when the experts are not able to come to your institution and to keep the system working, NBA has devised a new system whereby the team members and the chairperson remain at their places, but they are connected to the institute through a video link online. I said through like we are connected now. Then some more people, let's say there is some visit in Amritsar. Somebody from Chandigarh may be asked to go physically there because he is in the motorable distance from the institution. So subject wise, one person can go. Let's say if there are 5 programs, maybe 5 persons can go, or 2-3 persons can go. Which that persons also NBA only will identify the persons who are on their list, who know what this accreditation is. That also NBA only will identify. They will physically visit the institution. They will do verification of documents. So I am just discussing the new system which is now prevalent, but it covers the total visit as if it is being done physically. Instead of physical visit, now it is virtual visit. And some of the things which cannot be done now in virtual visit is there will be no students. So that activity will not be able to, the team will not be able to see that activity, that how to talk to students. Anyway, I will cover that in today's lecture, what is done, right? Is it visible? This is a
yes, it's visible.
So this is a new schedule which NBA is following. Now it says the NBA accreditation visit will be held in blended mode. Blended mode means few people in the institute and most of the people at the remote locations. NBA accreditation shall be held in blended mode where chairman and most of the experts would be available online. And some of the experts who are residing in a motorable distance from the institute would physically visit the institute for examination and verification of critical and essential activities and collection of verified documents. So they will collect the documents. Those who are the persons who are actually going to the institute for the visit, they are not actually called experts. They will be experts in the sense that they are going to the institution, but they are not contributing to the report writing. They are just working as a support to the NBA team which is evaluating, right? They can check some documents, they can collect some documents. If something has to be physically verified, they can physically verify there. But they will just pass on the documents to the experts and chairperson. They have no say in the report, right? So the expert committee to be constituted as per NBA norms, and additionally local experts would be nominated for physical verification and collection of evidence documents. Just see, these experts will have no role in evaluation. These local experts who are actually going to the institute, they will have no role in the evaluation of process. Their role would be limited to physical verification and collection of evidence as per the requirements of the experts. Whatever experts say, they will do. Actual evaluation and assignment of marks would be undertaken by the expert committee as per the norms of NBA. The expert committee is 2 experts per program and 1 chairperson. They are not going to the institute, but they are writing the report based on what they are actually looking through the remote mode, virtual inspection, assisted by the persons who are actually going to the institution to collect the documents as well as to verify if the institute has said that I have a workshop which has such and such new machines. The persons who are actually visiting the institute, they will be required to check that and verify that and certify that. Actual evaluation and assignment of marks would be undertaken by the expert committee as per the norms of the NBA. They would only be taking assistance of the local experts through video tour of the campus and lab and physical verification and collection of evidence. That means where labs and classrooms and other facilities, these 3 persons who are actually going to the institute, they will do that work. But they will not write the report. They will not contribute the report. Whatever data the expert who is sitting in Nagpur, he is sitting in Bangalore, he asks the expert to collect some data. The local people who have gone there, who have been deputed to be present in the institute, they will do that work. Now what they have to do? Following activities would require physical verification. Visit to the central facilities. Central facilities are what? Central facilities are which all institute programs are using, like library, computer center, medical facilities, first year labs, language lab, first year workshops, hostels, this thing, sports facilities. They all have to be checked physically, and the visit to central facilities first year labs, which chairman was doing actually. That I'm talking about UG program. Meeting with first year faculty, because criteria 8 is about the first year faculty. That also only chairman was supposed to do, but now the local expert will do that. Local expert means the expert who has gone to visit, verify. Discussion and study of administration, different committees and their working. So many mandatory committees are there, right? Grievance redressal committee, mentoring committees, harassment committees, right? Disciplinary committees. Their constitution, their members. You see, when we talk about committees, it is not only the constitution of the committee that we have constituted a committee. No. One is what is their role, what are their activities, right? What they are supposed to do. That should be very clear. That should be documented, right? Second is how many meetings they had, how many issues were reported to them, what action they have taken. Many institutions where I have gone there, they will have a list of committees, but no record of action taken. That means that committee has just been made just to show it to the NBA team. Otherwise, they are not actually working. So we need to create committees, we need to constitute committees, but at the same time, those committees should be active. And what action, how many meetings they have done, how many complaints or how many issues have come to them, and what action they have taken. That should be documented. Visit to the laboratories of the program, that means those experts who are actually visiting, they will do it. Otherwise, the members of the NBA expert committee, they would have visited the labs. Now, what is seen in the labs? One is the type of equipment. You see, the curriculum, they will ask you for the curriculum of the program. Now, as per curriculum, do you have the labs? One is the number of labs only. Let's say you have all the labs. Are you sharing the lab with anybody? If yes, there's no problem. Let's say civil and mechanical are sharing the fluid mechanics lab, no problem. But it should be there. And you should say that we are sharing with civil engineering. There's no harm in that. What more important there is in the lab is how the experiments are being done. Right? How the experiments are being done. How much equipment is there? How many setups are there for each experiment? Is there will be labs like mechanical engineering labs where you need a UTM, you need a harness tester. There you have only one per batch. That means you can have small groups. People can perform experiments. But there are labs like a computer lab, electrical engineering lab, electronics engineering lab, where the equipment doesn't cost much, and you can have a group of 2 students, 3 students, or individual student also. Small setups you can have. So that is more important. How much time people are devoting and how much hands-on experience the students will have when they are having the lab classes. Management of lab classes is another issue which is there. The students' notebooks. Students' record book of the lab work. You see, one is we have made it very easier, otherwise also. What we have done is we have written everything, typed anything, somebody has printed it, and we have made the table that you take these readings and your work is complete. Now I am not very happy with these lab manuals. They should not be there because they are killing the writing power of the students. Otherwise, also you know what good is the quality of the students who are joining your institute. So what the students do is they have a small table to fill that okay, if V is this, I is this, R will be this, right? Or V and R we are known, I will calculate, right? In let's say in Ohm's law. But unfortunately, what is happening is even that they are not doing. For that also, we give them PVCS notebook and they just copy. If there are one mistake earlier, now in the next year there will be 2 mistakes. And we teachers are very good at not evaluating the lab work of the students. What is expected is if some of the students have done the experiment today, when they come next time, we as teachers should insist on the student having completed their work, written work as well as calculation work, everything in the 2-3 days, and when they come back to your lab, they should have a complete write-up in their record book, which you as a teacher should check it on time and sign it with date. And when you are checking it, is not tick tick tick. We as teachers, I am also a teacher. We as teachers are supposed to read this. We are not doing it. That is a major lacuna. That is a major gap which we want to fill actually. Finance document. Or how much is the budget? Do they have the sufficient budget? Are the salaries being paid in time? Are they following the state government pay norms? All these things have to be seen. How much is the allocation of budget? How do you plan for the budget, how do the departments plan for the budget. All that documentation has to be seen, and then previous years audited reports. You see, there's need for transparency in the finance and budget. What NBA wants is that your last year audited report, audited results, they should be available on your website, which people do not have. They don't intentionally they don't put it. Collection of evidence in respect of attainment of COs and POs. You know how the attainment of CO and POs is calculated. That has to be checked physically. That the experts will also talk in the respective disciplines, but the visiting experts, they will actually see how they are doing it. They will interact with the faculty also and see whether the faculty knows it or not. Right? And it is not only evidence of attainment. What is the action taken if your attainment is less than or more than what you have targeted? You wanted that in criteria 1, I will attain 2.68 out of 3. But when you actually calculate, you get 1.8. So do you analyze it? Analyze where is the lapse, how it is happened, and take corrective action. Visit to the placement cell. Whether you have a placement cell, what are the facilities? If a team comes from, let's say, from a company, they want to interview your students for placement. Do you have sufficient place for the outsider team to address the students as well as to interview them in individual case, as well as do you have something for group discussions? That is what type of arrangement, what type of infrastructure you have developed. Do you have a placement officer? How many people are there? What type of record they are keeping? And placement record of past 3 years with documentary proof. Visits and study of projects towards attainment of POs. You see, in outcome-based education, whatever you are doing, whatever we are doing to attain the POs. And student projects are a very important part of our effort towards attainment of POs. Now, the project work also, we as teachers as well as students have taken it very leniently. I have seen somewhere a timetable where on Friday all the 6 periods are project period. And these are allocated to the HOD. That means HOD is not taking any class. Students are not coming to him. So he is almost free. Rest 4 days in the week, he doesn't have anything in the timetable. And on the 5th day, he has project work in the timetable where the students are not coming. And we don't want them to come. So the quality of projects. It is just fabrications project or it is some analysis also. Are they questioning some aspects? You see, why? Why is very important in engineering. We should ask the questions. Why they are doing this? I went to an institution, it was in Chennai. They say we have made this sports vehicle or all-terrain vehicle. I said, okay, let us see what is it. There was a chain they were having for driving. I said, why do you have this chain? Why not gears? Or why not a rope? Why not a belt and pulley? They didn't have any answer. That means they have not explored what else could be there. Why I am putting chain here? So that why is missing in our engineering students, that why should come. Any other activity as per the requirements of the chairman, expert. That means whatever chairman and experts say, the expert, this physical expert in the institution, they have to do that. They have to provide their satisfactory answer to whatever they need. Right? Whatever they need, the experts and the chairperson sitting at some other place who are virtually doing the evaluation. If they say, okay, you check the student SFR, student faculty ratio, okay, for a civil engineering department, so that you have to check it if you are the physical expert and see what actually is. Now it says link for presentation by the principal and other common meetings would be shared by NBA. That means NBA wants to be involved during the visit. They will share the link and they will record the meeting also, so that they can have a record of what has happened during the visit. Now let us see what happens. I said there will be a pre-visit meeting. Now it will be a pre-visit online meeting. They say it will be minimum 2 days prior to the actual evaluation. So it says it is proposed that pre-visit online meeting between chairperson experts and local oblique visiting experts. Right? Now local oblique visiting experts is a new thing here now. Who would be held 2 days prior to the accreditation visit, where then detailed deliberation would be held to list out activities which would be physically verified by the visiting experts, as well as their general observation from the SAR. And then, of course, to maintain the secrecy, that link, whatever NBA is sending, that will not be shared. But anybody, their data will also not be shared, and it will be strict confidentiality will be maintained, that we are otherwise also doing, right? There is no sharing. So what happens? This is the day 0 meeting, which it says 2 days prior. It is an online team meeting chaired by the team chair. Review of pre-visit evaluation reports of all the programs, as I said. Identify and discuss issues common to all programs. If there are any issues, all the experts do read your SARs and they discuss in the previous meeting. List out the program-wise activities for physical evaluation. Wherever it is very clear that okay, they are meeting, they will also see that. But here the idea is that where there is a confusion, where the things are not clear, that they will decide that okay, I want this to be physically checked. Right? So team chair, what will do is collate pre-visit evaluation reports of all the programs. Right? Now let's say curriculum development system is there, or the system to define your vision mission is there. That should be common to all the programs. If there are some experts who have issues with such, let's say, curriculum design, curriculum review, then that will be discussed. If there are some differences in the view of the experts, maybe within the program or program wise, between the program. Finalize the scope, purpose of the meeting schedule. Briefing to PEs, program evaluators on evaluation, how we will go about. There may be some PEs who are new and who are not very thorough with the process. Process during visit followed by QA session. That means if there is some program evaluators, they have some questions, chairman will like to address those questions. So then the visit starts. This is a first half-day program. 9:30 to 10:30. Principal presentation about the institute as per the template. Template they don't send actually, but it is principal's presentation. So it is 40-45 days with 10 to 15 minutes for questioning. Now it will be entire team members, management of the institution, whatever important people, HODs, finance, personnel, your institution, in your institution that you can call to be members to attend the meeting. Right? So we, as we say, when we go physically, the principal's presentation should be maximum 45 minutes, 40 to 45 minutes. Normally, principals know it and they complete this. Then, remaining first half up to 12:30, right? Chairman through video call, local visiting expert to accompany video tour. That means chairman is at a distance place. Otherwise, if the visit is physical, then this is chairman's job. Now you are doing it, we are doing it through video. So what chairman does? Now, let's say if I leave this video tour, he does it in the physical visit also. Visit to central facilities, first year labs, and meeting with the first year faculty. So what he will do video tour to the central facilities and first year facilities for collecting observations on criteria 1 institution's vision and mission PEOs, so that the consistency among these could be checked. And for criteria 8 is basically first year criteria, first year academics, all details needed for evaluation, because it is chairperson's domain now to work on criteria 8. Many times, what has happened is this applied science people, they will ask whether they whether they have to write the COs and POs. You see, the applied sciences people, humanities people, management people in the engineering college, they don't have a program. They are teaching in other programs. They are teaching in UG mechanical engineering. They are teaching in UG civil engineering. They are teaching in PG mechanical engineering. So the POs are for the program. The program is UG in mechanical engineering, UG in civil engineering. But they are contributing to the POs of the respective programs where they are teaching. A mathematics person who is teaching mechanical engineering, that means he has to keep in mind the POs of mechanical engineering program. But he does have to write the COs, course outcome, the course he is teaching. Program is your degree, BE mechanical, diploma mechanical, MBA. But course is here the what you are teaching in one semester, mathematics 1, mathematics 2. There are people who are differentiating between the course and subject also. They say physics is a subject, but solid state physics is a course which we are teaching. Nuclear physics is a course. They say mathematics is a subject, mathematics 1 is a course, mathematics 2 is a course which we are teaching to the students at different levels. So this was what chairman is doing, 10:30, 10:40 to 12:30. But the experts what will do is, they will go to when they are physically in the institute, they will go to their department. What now here they are connecting to the HOD. They have to be in their program through video link, where HOD will give a presentation. Normally the HOD will give presentation criteria wise only, right? 1 to 7 criteria. Because experts are concerned with the criteria 1 to 7 only. Then 11:30 to 12, it was 10:40 to 11:30, 1 hour has been given for HOD's presentation. Whether it is online now, it is virtual or physical visit, that meeting will be there. Then 10:30 to 12:30, another half an hour, meeting with the faculty. Right? One is to have a physical meeting with the faculty to see their understanding of the concept of OBE. because there is heavy weightage. Criteria 2 is 120 marks. Criteria 3 is 120 marks. So here, the time devoted, you can adjust also. It may not be half an hour only. We may take some more time here, but this meeting has a lot of sense. It has a lot of information to collect. Program curriculum and teaching learning process, program outcomes, curriculum gap analysis. You know by now what is gap analysis. Projects and assignments. Addition to the program to fill the gaps. You have identified some of the gaps, but how do you go about in filling the gaps in the curriculum so that the students do not suffer? Discussion may allow you to identify evidence that you wish to see, like in semester question papers, answer scripts. It is all about what was Dominder talked about, the course file. So it is 11:30 to 12 on the first day, that is first half. Then 12 to 12:30, individual meetings with few faculty members, just to see how the faculty members talk. You see, these things happen separately, just to see that what senior faculty is feeling about, what junior faculty is feeling about, how much is the involvement of the junior faculty in the program and activities, how much they know about OBE, especially criteria 2 and 3. All this is discussed, right? These are the meetings with individual faculty that allows them to share their views, which they may not wish to express in public. Some aspects of academic processes and which they still feel they could be improved. Even about the service rules, etc., you can talk. You see, the institute is supposed to be transparent in having service rules and applying them. In government, there is no problem. But in self-financing, there may be issues that they do have a booklet of service rules, but they never show it to the faculty and staff. So by 12:30, the team will be through with these activities. It can go a little bit more also, 10-15 minutes, right? Then entire team can have a meeting, small meeting, just to see what is their impression, how genuine the people seem to be, how much is the matching with the SAR, that they are giving something in SAR, whether it is there in the actual practice, it is available in the institute or not. Then 1:30 to 13 hours to 14 hours, that means 1300 to 1400 hours, that means 1 to 2, that is a lunch break. Actually, when they are in the institute, then also they have a lunch break. You don't have to arrange for special lunch for them. They will have a working lunch when they are in their institution. They will have working lunch only in the institute. Even if you offer them that we want to take to a hotel for lunch, they will say no, right? It is not accepted. And you don't try to do that, because there's no need of spending additional money on all these things, because NBA has already paid to the hotel where the expert team is staying. So in the afternoon session, chairman and the visiting expert, that means the expert which is locally there, discussion and study of administrative different committees and their working. Criteria 10, financial resources, like anti-bullying committee, sexual harassment committee, internet library, all this he will this chairman will see, because it is part of the criteria 9 and 10. And the visiting expert will help them in seeing the papers and clarifying it. Right? As I said, you have to show the constitution of the committees. You have to show the working of the committee. You have to show the documented action taken by the committees, how many meetings they have done, how many times they got some complaints, what action they have taken. Here the chairman another job is there with the chairperson, that is to see the administrative part of the organization. Let's say the what we call recruitment process. Are you following? Do you have this documented recruitment process? In government, there's no issue. You have it. But in self-financing, normally they go by their convenience. That okay, this person suits, I'll keep him. He's very good, I'll keep him. But normally what we want is, if one person is good, maybe there are 10 more persons like him. So you give an ad in the paper, make a selection committee, select the person, get the minutes of the selection committee approved from the competent authority. You have the procedure and implement it. There are two things, everything here in self-financing institution, what we feel is having it a document that okay, we are following this recruitment process. But then actually having done it, show us at least one instance. Previously, let's say last year, whosoever was recruited, what was the basis? How many applicants were there? Did you give a paper advertisement? So all these things. Are you planning? How are you planning the budget? How are you distributing the budget to the departments? Normally, many of the institutions, self-financing institutions, they do not have a system of budget allocation or budget planning. Nobody plans the budget. They say if the HOD comes with a proposal, principal say I allow him. No, that is not how the departments are developed and maintained. You should have a plan. You should develop a budget plan for the next year. Depending upon the money available, you should allocate the money to the department, or you can prioritize department that okay, these are the departments we will develop this year, and these are development we will develop in the next coming years. Now experts will go to sorry. Experts will see the equipment adequacy, connect of classes, as I said earlier. So this will be over by 4:30 p.m. Then 4:30 to 5:30, the team members can have a meeting just to discuss what are the activities, what are their observations, what more needs to be seen, right? So the 5:30 the meeting will be over. Normally it may go beyond this. Actually, when they are physically with you, it can go to 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, because the committee has to finish the work. So then day 2 starts morning. This is 9:30 to 10 o'clock, and all team online visits to the respective classes by the experts of the each committee. Because classes are not there, then there is no place. Otherwise, you can see the equipment, etc. Either 1 or 2 hours. But then you can divide the experts into 1 group or 2 groups. They can go around the institution. You see, when actually otherwise the visit is planned, physical visit I am talking about, it is planned on working day, so that the classes are there, teachers are there, students are there, actual teaching can be observed. But now the system is a little different. So 10 to 13, 10 a.m. to 1 o'clock, they will see how do you calculate POCO. They may see your course file. Now many times difficulties asked in these programs, do they have to prepare course files for all the courses? I say yes. But the team may not see all the course files. That's when I say I will ask for a course file of my choice, depending upon the curriculum they have. जो syllabus उनका है, जो booklet है, I will see which is the subject which I like or which is area of my interest. I say I will see CAD CAM, because I am working in CAD CAM area. So I will ask for a post file from the CAD CAM area. Somebody else is working in heat transfer. Somebody else is working in AI. So they will ask the files which are related to their interest, right? And all the 45 will not be seen because you are teaching 40 subjects. Chairman and visiting expert. Visiting expert, when we say this is the local expert now, instead of visiting expert, we will call it as local expert for the next half an hour. So they will see the budget and accounts, how transparent the system is, how much they are charging, are they charging any capitation fee, and all the documents will be collected by the visiting expert, that local expert. Chairperson is sitting at some other place. Then, so it was 10 to 12, 12 to 13, visit to the placement office. We have discussed what placement office they have to do. Then, here the experts are here, the chairman is here. On the day 2 afternoon, there are supposed to be some meetings. There are supposed to be some meetings also during the visit. Now, because we have online visits, so it is an online meeting only. Otherwise, when the team is visiting physically, second half of the second day, one is it's a this visit and study of the projects towards attainment of POs. I discussed that projects we are not taking care, we are not giving the required attention to the projects that we should give, and we should have good projects. I have seen many times nobody reads the project report; they just sign it. This has happened at one place. Then there are meetings, alumni, parents, and employers. These are now e-meetings only. Normally it is in chairman, but one or two experts will also go with him so that they can discuss. Now, because it is online, it is chairperson only. But when you are physically there, it will be meeting with all experts and chairperson, or at least because few person may be busy in writing the reports. So maybe one person from each group can go with the chairperson. So alumni, your pass outs, parents, and employers. What type of question that they are asking? They are asked. Let's say to alumni, they will ask, "What is your feedback?" What you see, normally alumni will say, "My college is very good. There is no college like this." Parents will also say that this college is very good. That is why I have put. But the chairperson or the team member will ask you, tell us, let's say 3 points where we can improve the institution. Then they don't have any answer. The alumni should be ready with what they are doing or what was missing. Maybe alumni says in computer science, sir, you have not taught us cloud computing, whereas there are a lot of jobs in cloud computing. That means that is a positive feedback. This is not negative feedback. This is positive feedback. Parents say, okay, my students, they are disciplined. This college is disciplined. I don't have to worry about my ward when he comes to the college. They also normally parents will talk about the positive. Only employers can be asked what else you need. Alumni and employers, how they are involved in the institute. Maybe some of the alumni may be coming and giving lecture to your students. Employers may be coming and giving lecture to the students. Employers may be involved in development of curricula. So it is through the E mode only. Everything is through the E mode. Now, after this 6:13, normally when the team is in the institution, they will write the report. And by the end of second day, the report is compiled, all the reports, program reports, they are compiled and handed over to the chairperson, right? When they are handing over the reports to the chairperson, they will write some strong points, some weak points, some areas of concern, some deficiencies based on their interaction with the faculty and students and their visit. But the reports will be submitted to the chairperson on the second day. But in E mode, this exit meeting on the second day itself. Now, what happened in the exit meeting actually? Exit meeting is normally when it is a physical visit, it is on the third day, maybe around 9:30 or 10 o'clock. It is a 1 hour meeting. Exit meeting is basically a one-way communication. Only the chairman and the team members speak. Management people, college people, HODs, they just listen. If somebody says that your SFR is poor, you are not supposed to defend it, right? Because it is based on the data you have supplied. So the chairman will talk about the good points. I'm not saying good point. Good points, weak points, points of concern, and weaknesses at the institution level, overall level. And the experts will talk about their programs, what they have seen, what is good about the program, what is lacking, what can be improved, and what are the deficiencies. Now, after this, when I'm talking about the physical visit now, the chairman has to do one more duty. Let's say you applied for 4 programs. Based on the interaction with the team, experts, as well as your response, you feel that one of your program is not likely to get through. You know that you need 600 marks for 3 years and 750 marks for 6 years. So the chairman gives one option here on the exit meeting, that you can withdraw any of the programs of accreditation. If you feel that my program is not likely to get through, you say, okay, I will withdraw UG in civil engineering from accreditation. But if you want to withdraw it, you have to give it in writing to the chairperson. Otherwise, you can very well say that, no, sir, we want to continue with the accreditation process for all the programs. That withdrawal facility, how does it matter to the institution? It matters in the sense, you see, whatever these visits are going, whatever decision is taken on our accreditation of the program based on the visits of the committee, it is e-visits or factual visits, the institute name and the programs accredited are available on the NBA website. There is a master register there. So all information about your programs, whether they are accredited or not, that will be given, that will be available on the website of the NBA. If you have withdrawn a program during this exit meeting, and actually if it was not accredited, you are not withdrawn also, then against that program UG in civil engineering, it will come not accredited, right? But if you have withdrawn it, then that not accredited will not come on the institute website. And the programs which are not accredited or withdrawn, you can again apply after a year for accreditation. So anyway, this is about the writing of the report. After that, the visit concludes, and chairman will formally close the meeting, and you can have some informal talks with them. Otherwise, as far as the NBA visit is concerned, it is closed, and the chairman has already collected the reports of the visiting team, and he will send the NBA on which further action will be taken, which I explained on the first day. So this is over now. Let me see if you have any questions. Let me go to the chat box.
Sir, your voice is not coming.
Hello.
Hello. My voice is not coming?
But now it's clear now, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Now it's audible, sir.
How long did you lose it? कितनी देर नहीं आई?
So just abhi.
Okay, I was online on it. It is not off also.
Okay.
Anyway, any questions you have?
So we have a question in the chat box. What are the main key points that experts checks in compliance visit?
Compliance visit is only actually. You see what is compliance visit? Let me see, because Madam Shweta knows, maybe others are not knowing it. If you are accredited for 3 years, that means you are not fully accredited. That is called provisional accreditation. So NBA will point out some things that okay, you need to improve SFR, you need to work on let's say POCS, CO mapping, right? Your attainment is poor, your placement is poor. So whatever points are given in the previous NBA report on for which the compliance visit will be there, only those points they will stress upon. Rest of the information should also be there, but main focus will be on the points which have been already pointed out by the team to you, where you want to send the compliance report and compliance visit.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Anybody else?
And sir, after compliance, if we have another visit, then what are the points which we should keep in mind?
Shweta madam, let's say your compliance is satisfactory, okay?
Yes, sir.
Then your accreditation period will be increased from 3 years to 6 years.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you will get a new report, new letter from NBA that okay, now you are accredited for 6 years, and if there are any observations, they will also come again. So if you want to apply again after some time, let's say after 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, then that report you should keep and what action you have taken on that. You should very clear, because that is checked.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome, welcome. Anybody else?
Any questions, participants? I guess all the doubts are clear from their side, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for listening for 1.5 hours to me. Thanks a lot. And thanks once again, Madam Komal and our institution for inviting me for this lecture.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for being with us and delivering such informative and educative session. This lecture certainly benefited from the breadth of knowledge and depth of expertise. Thank you for teaming up with us, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Respected participants, I request all of you to please join us for valedictory session at 2:30, followed by the feedback and assessment test. And for the timing, please don't forget to mark your attendance and feedback for the session. Thank you so much.
Madam, duration of assessment test and marks, madam, how much?
Sir, that will be 30 minutes.
Okay, madam. How much, madam, marks? Assessment test.
Sorry, sir.
How many questions, madam? Assessment.
The 25 questions, 2 marks each, total 50.
Okay, madam.
And you can refer at the email ID for BS Pabla sir, and it's there in the chat box. For any queries or any future references, please feel free to contact.